Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michael Daly, and welcome to Extra Life Edmonton's Game Day 2021 Online Edition. I will be one of your hosts here during our 25-hour charity event. We are coming to you live from Extra Life Edmonton Command Center to bring you this year's Extra Life Edmonton Game Day event. The Edmonton Guild is rising to the challenge with our online edition beaming the experience straight into your homes. For the safety of everyone working in the command center, has been verified as double vaccinated and approved as healthy within our safety procedures. You at home can join us on Twitch, where we'll be talking and interacting you with live as much as we can. Now, without further delay, the time you have been waiting for. Welcome to opening ceremonies for our 10-year anniversary of Extra Life Edmonton's annual Game Day.
My name is Ellie.
My name is Kyle Sinski.
This is my 10th year doing it.
Been with Extra Life Edmonton since the very first year.
Hi guys, my name's Paige.
Hello, I am Richard Jaworski,
Part of Extra Life for about 7 years.
and this would be my 8th year.
Being able to help out your local children's hospital, pulling an all-nighter and playing games, it's a great feeling.
Extra Life is like the best part of the gaming community.
Extra Life gives me a chance to use my hobby of playing games to help kids who are in the hospital.
It was easy to say yes to because I'm playing games anyways. Why not do it for a good cause? Why not get involved this way? And it's a great way to help your community.
Hello, thank you so much for joining us for our 10-year anniversary game day. I hope you have a great 25 hours. Good luck, have fun!
Thank you very much for joining us this game day. We really do appreciate all the hard work you do.
Thank you for being part of our 10-year anniversary. But don't forget, we're active in our Discord all year round. I'd love to see you in there.
Thank you again for coming out to Game Day 2021.
Thank you for joining us for our 10-year anniversary and hope you enjoy Game Day 2021.
Hi everybody, thank you for participating in Game Day today.
Thank you so much for coming out.
So I just wanted to say how much I appreciate this community and I look forward to seeing you in person again very soon. And I wish you a very good Game Day 2021. Bye!
Don't cry, don't cry.
Hello everyone and welcome to Extra Life Edmonton Game Day 2021. I'd like to take a moment to read something before we begin. Extra Life Edmonton and the Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation respectfully honor and acknowledge that the land on which we are hosting this event is the traditional lands of Treaty 6, traditional lands of First Nations and Métis people. We acknowledge the many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit whose footsteps have marked these lands for generations, whose histories, languages, and cultures continue to influence and are vital to our vibrant community. We are grateful for the traditional knowledge keepers and elders who are still with us today and those who have gone before us. We recognize the land as an act of reconciliation and gratitude to those whose territory we reside on or are visiting. My name is Lisa Hawthorne, and I am the president of the Extra Life Edmonton Guild. We are a bunch of hardworking volunteers who have dedicated our spare time and energy to fighting for a cause we truly believe in, bettering the lives of sick kids at the Stollery Children's Hospital. This is an extra special event for us, as 2021 marks our 10-year anniversary. Over the past decade, this team has grown from 30 gamers to almost 800 fundraisers in the Edmonton region and beyond. In that time, fundraisers just like you have raised over $1.75 million for kids who need the Stollery, making going to the hospital just a little less scary. Edmonton has such a vibrant, diverse, and supportive gaming community. Each and every one of you has risen to the occasion to support sick kids and their families. You have given your time, energy, and in many cases your own money to improve the lives of kids that you may never even meet. You all drive us to do this, to create this event, to celebrate you. We all know that not all heroes wear capes, but who knew so many of them wear headsets? So thanks to all of you, last year we raised over $296,000 for the Stollery Children's Hospital. You make us leaders and an example to Extra Life Guilds across North America every single year. And in 2021 so far, despite everything we've been through, we've raised just over $62,000 and are well on our way to yet another record-breaking year. Now, there's no way that we're putting on this event without some super generous organizations. I'd like to acknowledge them all and recognize their impact. I'd like to throw out a special thank you to our presenting sponsors, Westworld Computers and CTV, the Alberta Esports Association, the Alberta Society for Asian Popular Arts, Improbable, Beamdog, Fragapalooza, Game Over, Print Machine, Purcell and Props. Make sure you sign up for Fall Guys and the Mario Kart competitions to try to win one of this year's trophies. And Ravencroft Guitars. Visit the Extra Life Edmonton Facebook page to place your winning bid on this year's Extra Life themed guitar. And I'd like to extend a thank you to all of the supporters that we've had over the past 10 years. So, with an incredible event comes an incredibly dedicated crew of organizers. It's my pleasure to introduce the rest of the Extra Life Edmonton Guild. We have our leadership team, Ray Wheeler, Rod Krenick, and Clara C. Our communication and guest coordinator, Derek Law. Mike Daly, Jenny Lau, Vince Lim, and Cordell Moore, our event programming coordinators and technicians. Carmen Yan and Kate Bengert, our social media team. Eric Sutton and Cordell Moore, again, our graphic designers. And our community engagement team, Derek Krieger-Smith, Josh Quitley, and Cordell Moore yet again. And thank you to all of the awesome fundraisers for making today such a success.
Hi everyone, welcome to Game Day. Welcome to 10 years of community. I want to just take a moment and thank all of you for the last 10 years. Some of you have been doing this each year for the last 10 years. Some of you, this might be your first year. For me, I think it's year 8 now. I've lost track. But this is an incredible event where the gaming community here in Edmonton gets to come together and we get to raise money for a good cause. And so I want to thank each and every one of you who have participated over the last 10 years, because through your amazing work, you have been able to help heal kids. You've been able to help the Stollery and their great work that they get to do each and every day. So this is always a blast. I love this event. One of these days, we're going to get to come back and do it in person again. And I can't wait for that moment. But in the meantime, I love that we're doing this online, that we're going to continue to work together. And I want to take a moment to as well thank everyone who has helped organize this each and every year over the last 10 years. Because if you go back to the very first one, and you look back at how that was run and where we're at today, and just to see how much it has grown. And it's because of the great work of the volunteers that have been doing this work, some for many, many, many years. And of course, the great work of all of you by trying to and working so successfully at raising money. So let's enjoy today. Let's have some great fun. I cannot wait to play for 24 hours straight. I have been neglecting my game time, so I can't wait to do this. And let's all take a moment and just make sure you thank yourself for the work you've been doing. Thank the organizers for Extra Life Edmonton, and of course, let's make sure we're thanking everyone who works tirelessly at Stollery. The Stollery, they're doing amazing work each and every day. That's why we're doing this. Thank you, everyone, and look forward to coming again together soon.
Hi everybody, I'm Aaron Flynn, General Manager here at Improbable's Game Development Studio in Edmonton, Canada. And just want to say a huge congratulations, first of all, to all of you supporting Extra Life here in Edmonton for the past 10 years. The 10th anniversary is a remarkable achievement when I think of my time in the game industry, and I think of how special it is to be in this industry for 10 years, all the change you've seen, all the amazing games you've played, and what a difference you've made to the Stollery and other children's hospitals. That's a phenomenal achievement, and a huge congratulations to all of you. The Stollery has a very special place in my heart. My oldest son was actually born premature and spent time at the Stollery. And then my nephew was born premature as well and spent actually a lot of time at the Stollery. And so the fact that the Stollery's impacted our family and made such a difference for our children is a huge, huge heartwarming thing for us. And so I care very deeply about the Stollery and can't thank you enough for all of your support of the Stollery and making this difference for them and the good work that they do. So good luck with all your fundraising. Have a lot of fun playing games, and we will see you soon. Thank you.
All right, hi, it's Mike House, President and CEO of the Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation. Got my Extra Life shirt, woo! Got Assassin's Creed in the back, got my X1 console, and I'm gonna do my best to give you this year's wrap. Sorry I could not do this in person, but hope you guys are all safe out there, and hope you're having a lot of fun today. So, without further ado, here's my best guess. Just sitting at home and I'm waiting it out. No places to go or to travel about. Locked down yet again, what would make me so sad? But it's Extra Life season, so there's fun to be had. Cause it's time for my team to connect once again. Putting 25 hours into helping my friends. Gonna stand up for kids while sitting back down, helping Stollery kids find their own solid ground. Now the world as we know, it is still very shifted and people are searching for something to lift it. There are hearts that are broken and the people we've lost. And society is dealing with how to handle the cost. But with my PS4 and my Xbox One, I can still social distance while I'm having some fun. For on games and in puzzles through Twitch and Discord, I got a great way to help that even I can afford. So it's worse than it's been. Some kids paying the cost for the time in the hospital is still time that's lost. But like a true superhero, I can raven location by my ass in my network for make a donation. Whether trying or grand, all the gifts added up make a mountain of difference as we fill up the cup. For as much as it's hard, solid true lamentation, it's nothing compared to a lung transplantation or brain surgery, cancer, or genetic disorder. Got my friends to come and watch my favorite Discorder. Raise some dough, shoot some lasers, do it safe and with pride. I'm a captain to change on this Extra Life ride. So thank you, my people. Get there, out there, and play. And don't let the good night help you back from the day, because we're needed more than ever on this super long leg. Let's make this the best year ever, Team Extra Life. Yeg. Woo! Yeah! Have fun! Love ya! Hope to see you soon.
Hi everyone. I'd like to take a moment now to honor two very special people in our community. Their families have created some special videos for you, so I'd like to take a moment to share those with you and to honor Justin and Justine, who were two very special people who were deeply loved by this community, both in the Organizing Guild and the Extra Life Edmonton team at large. All right, so we are heading to Justin's parents' house right now. I'm really excited, and I can't wait to give them the nice little award that we have for Justin. I'm excited to meet his mom and to see his dad John again. It's been a couple of years since we've been able to see each other, so it'll be good to catch up, have a little conversation, and to record the message to the community. Justin was really very special to this community. For me, he was the first face, one of the first faces actually, that I saw as a fundraiser when I started 10 years ago. He was super welcoming, and he was the official, unofficial Stollery kid that we had back then, when there was only maybe 50 of us at Mercer Tavern. So getting to know him over the years and was a real treat for me. You know, he would volunteer at a lot of the events. I think his favorite was Expo, when we would have the auctions there, because then he could just sit and greet everybody as they showed up. So he was really special, like to all of us for sure, and deeply, deeply missed. He would have been celebrating his 10-year of fundraising with us all. So it's bittersweet, but it's going to be a great conversation today, and I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing him. Hi.
Well, I'm John, Justin's dad, and then this is my lovely wife, Jenny, Justin's stepmom.
Yeah, I'm Jenny. My name is Dominic.
Dominic.
He's the youngest.
The youngest.
I'm Gemini. Hello, everyone. I'm Emily.
Hi, Emily.
I'm the second youngest.
I'm Gabe.
Yes, and his name is
Gabriel.
He was great. He went through a lot of trials through his life, but he never let it come down. If anyone that met him will even say, if I went through 1/3 of the stuff he did, I'd be very bitter, but he never was. He always had a smile. He always wanted to help. He always wanted to be that guy that always made people smile, even with his corny jokes.
Yeah.
He was often like, as he got older, and he's often like, well, what should I do? I'm bored. What should I do? And we're like, volunteer. Do it. Go out and you can contribute, because that's what he really wanted to do, was to give back to a lot of people.
He did a lot of work with the CPA as well, and when he got older, and things he never told us about either. Like, he started doing things that he just did it humbly, and we didn't find out till he passed and people reached out, which was shocking. Because
Not surprising,
but it was shocking, and it was like, why didn't you tell me this beforehand? I would have been so over the moon and over the hills and applauding him, but that wasn't Justin. Justin was humble, and he just wanted everyone to be happy. He loved doing things for Extra Life. I mean, always bragged to everyone, and he'd always send us the link, and we'd send it out to all our family and friends. Several times he did not make it the whole night just because of his conditioning, but it was always funny when he did it, because then I'd be like, now I gotta go down and haul it all back. And he's just like, thank you. And he loved helping the residents. all the time in his facility. He was a big help at gaming places, but he also taught the elderly people how to properly use their iPad. He was what they called the on-site IT support that was not getting paid. There's a perfect one. What's he holding up? An Xbox controller, because why? Even at a very young age, that's all he would want to do was game. He didn't have to wear the brace later on in life, but that's him at a very young age where he had to wear his brace, but it was always gaming with that boy, no matter what. It's the article that he got to pose in because he was doing Extra Life from his facility with his computer set up, and he did not have a problem doing any kind of fundraising for Extra Life at all and promoting it on many levels.
So, Justin got this, and we went to his facility to build it with him, and we actually time-lapsed the whole thing, but we didn't think about gluing it together when we were building it. So, unfortunately, we spent weeks on it, then when it fell, it broke so many pieces. And I've been going to redo it, but whenever I do, I just look into the box and find all these snapped pieces, and I have to go through every other Lego thing we have downstairs to get a replacement piece.
I can help you with that.
And it sucks, so I've just had it in my room for a while. And of course, whenever I open it, I get emotional, but...
Of course.
Yeah.
So are you excited to do Extra Life?
Yes, I am very excited. The last few times I haven't been able to do Extra Life because I've been too young.
There's a signature on that. What is that?
I have no idea. But it's number 37.
So what did Justin love about that hat?
I have no idea.
Who did you love? Who's your favorite team?
Edmonton.
Where do you always have season tickets to?
Edmonton.
And where do we go meet us sometimes for games?
Commonwealth.
Right.
It's his treasure life?
No, child life.
Child life beat. So every procedure he ever went through, he got a beat, and that's undercounting.
So he doesn't have all of his beats there. That was just from the time that they started doing it. And so this really covers the longest stay he had, which was about 2 years.
So every procedure that
With
Justin
only a
would have to
3-week
go
break.
through, and every child that's in the stall, every procedure they'd get a bead. They'd get a teacher's bead and put it on their string. As you can tell, Justin's string is very long, and it should be actually much longer than that.
So this one is definitely sandwiched in between a lot. Ooh, we're getting sad. So before he bought the ticket, he had a really bad time in hospital again.
Can we do a check for you,
Please.
Okay, so Justin was intubated and taken to ICU in respiratory failure. He made it through that, and then 2 days later, he pulled the same stunt again. Like, he was still unconscious. And then, what was it, about a week later, they're like, we want to sit down and have a talk. So we did, because they took us into the private meeting room, as they do for these chats. And they started off, and we're like, we know where this is going. And they're like, no, he's done something really weird. We're like, he turned around, didn't he? You know, and don't get me wrong, we were always there at the hospital, but we'd started to, I guess, with having spent so much time around the equipment, we knew. And so he kept wanting to go, and we're all like, you can't go, Justin. You physically cannot go. And he was just dying to go.
And the worst thing is that he was a huge fan of The Walking Dead, and they were going to be there and everything. And we told, once you get strong enough, we might be able to look at one that's closer to home.
They sent him all the little box, as well as a whole bunch of other stuff.
This is about our son, Justin Malcolm Thomas Cooper, who was born on February 3rd, 1995, and was a rambunctious little boy up until the age of 7, until he had spinal surgery, which left him unfortunately paralyzed.
Justin had a genetic condition, neurofibromatosis type 1. What it does is it affects the nerves in the body. Often with people with NF1, they also have trouble clotting. But not as much as hemophiliac, who usually don't clot at all. So they're kind of an in-between, which was the result of the spinal stroke.
I was sitting next to his hospital bed when the doctors were giving us the diagnosis of, I'm sorry, he has spinal cord stroke. There's nothing really we can do. And I'm like sitting there in shock as what do you do? What do you say? And Justin being Justin, you know, the doctors leave the room and Justin grabs my hand and says, Dad, it doesn't matter. I love you and you love me. That's all that matters. And I just went, okay, time to lose it. And I started bawling. And he knew what to say. And I was so shocked at that time because as a parent, I didn't know what to say. And this child who was so young knew what to say. And then skip ahead roughly 5 years, he lost his stomach due to what's called a gastric volvulus. When your stomach flips and it chokes off the artery supplies, your stomach is fine with just one artery supply. But when his flipped, it choked off all four and ruptured inside him. So he was in the hospital in the ICU there for 2.5 months and just in ICU, and then in the hospital for about 6 months after that.
Throughout the majority of all of his days, he was MRSA positive, so he always had to be in isolation. So the video games saved his sanity, and then when he found out there was Extra Life up here and everything, he got really excited and he just wanted to be able to get more involved with it because it saved him. Literally, gaming saved him in his mental health. But I was gonna say, when he got out, you know, he was like, Extra Life. And I remember having to do everything, but I also remember he was like 16 at the time. So then we did that Mercer event, and you had to stay with him for most of that because he was underage.
My favorite things was Justin getting ready for Extra Life. We'd haul all this stuff down, get him set up, and every time he'd just turn and go, bye. And it's like, excuse me, I'm here. Don't I get like a coffee? Or he's like, no, bye, Dad. And it's like, but I just helped you do all this.
Yeah, he'd say bye to you and then turn around to me and the others, he's like, you guys can stay.
Because he knew it would get my goat every time. Every time. But that was his sense of humor. He knew that it would be like, haha, Dad.
He was just waiting for the day that all of us, that all the kids were old enough that we could all do it together at one of the in-person events.
He loved the idea of Extra Life. He loved the community of the gaming community, how they would always come together and do something great. The gaming community saved him so much. I don't think without it, I think he would have been very bitter. I think he wouldn't be the happy boy or man he grew into be.
He would never have made it as long as he did.
Yes. The way that they came together when he was in the hospital, the way Extra Life treated him when he was at the events. I mean, a lot of times you guys could have sat there and said, I'm sorry, but it's not wheelchair accessible, you can't come. You guys never once did that. You guys always went above and beyond. And you know, there were a lot of times he didn't make it the whole night, and it wasn't, you guys would say, well, no, you don't come back next year, you didn't make it. It was like, no, next year maybe you can do a little bit better. And all the gamers there, and even the staff and everyone, always treated him like he was a normal person, which made him feel good. You could tell by the way he wheeled around the place sometimes, like he owned it. I don't know.
Yeah, literally.
But he always treated everyone with respect, and he loved the fact that everyone treated him with respect as well while he was there. And the gaming community saved him on so many levels, we can't thank them enough. Extra Life was a very big part of his life, and he loved the idea behind it of gamers coming together to raise money for something so pivotal and important to his life that saved his life so many times. And he always tried to get other people involved in it as well.
His impact to this entire community over the past 10 years. We had one of our friends at Persona Props put something together for Justin and for you as a token of how much he meant to us. We just like to
I love it.
present this
God.
in loving memory for
You know,
Justin.
it's gonna go
so
up there.
much. That is unbelievable. That is so nice. Thank you so much. That says Justin in a heartbeat. Thank you so much. That is so beautiful.
So from all of us, you know, the guild and the community, all the fundraisers. There we
The
go.
gaming community does for raising money for people in need like Justin and others.
It makes a
great.
difference. It really.
It does. It really makes a difference. And you've saved so many children, not just physically but mentally. Their mental health as well. You've saved them so much.
important because, like, for me too, because the Stollery, when I was young and that, it saved my life several times. So it's just a way for me to give back, and it's a way for others to just give money to the Stollery to help kids in need. So it's very good. If you're a gamer, come out. It's a great thing. I didn't think I could really make a difference playing video games, but now I know I can. So I urge you to come out and make a difference too.
My name is Alana. I guess I should start with a short summary of my story. My daughter Justine was a gymnast, a dancer, and a soccer player before we became a Stollery family. In July 2018, she started complaining of a pain in her knee. I brushed it off as growing pains, but when the pain continued and wouldn't get better with Advil or Tylenol, we went to the doctor. Justine became a Stollery kid in August 2018 when she was diagnosed with osteosarcoma, bone cancer in her left knee. She underwent years of chemotherapy and had a rotationoplasty, in other words, an amputation of her left leg. She went in remission for 5 short months before the cancer came back to her lung, fiercer than ever. However, Justine had fulfilled her duties on Earth, gained her angel wings, and returned to Creator on March 8th. Justine and I met Lisa and Derek from the Extra Life team back in the summer of 2019 at a Stollery event. Instantly, Justine and Derek became friends, and she was showing him new tricks on how she built things in Minecraft. We lost touch with Lisa until last October, when she reached out and asked if Justine could play at their online event. Of course, we were both so excited for this opportunity. Some of you might even remember meeting Justine at Game Day last year. And a few weeks prior to Justine playing at last year's event, Justine was invited into Extra Life's Discord server to practice. And a few days after the gaming event was over, Justine decided to randomly pop onto the Extra Life server, where she was lovingly welcomed by everyone. From there, Justine formed a very strong friendship with many other Extra Life peeps, as she would call them. The members of Extra Life helped my daughter through her fight and her journey. She always had someone to play games with or talk to and get her mind off of things. They were there for her when she was bored in the hospital for long periods of time. They were there for her when she found out her cancer had started growing again. And they were there for her in her last few weeks and even days of her life on Earth. Extra Life does not only raise money for the Stollery Children's Hospital, but they invite these sick children into their lives like any other person, and for that they need a huge kudos. Thank you, Extra Life, for all that you do and all that you have done for Justine and other Stollery kids like her. I just want to remind everyone that not every sick child gets to go home. The hard truth and reality is that a lot of the kids you see don't make it to their adult lives. And the ones that you do, well, they've spent weeks, days, and possibly months in the hospital being poked and prodded away from their homes, families, and pets. It's donors like you who can make it possible for kids to go home and more bearable for those kids who are staying in the hospital. Thank you so much. Myself and thousands of others are so very grateful for all of your donations.
Wow.
No, thank you.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Watch her, and she's just blowing through.
Unbelievable! Look at this thing of beauty. Look at this.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
Awesome.
Awesome job.
Way to go, guys.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you to Derek. Thank you, Justine. Go pose in front of it.
Yay!
Yay! Yay! Clap, clap, clap.